Okay, sorry. I am typically very, very loud person. I said never in my life have I ever needed a microphone, but you can tell my voice is kind of wavering, so can you hear me okay? There we go, okay. So, welcome. My name is Betsy Ruiz. I am one of the career coaches here at McDowell Tech. Just to double check, has anyone here already taken an online class with McDowell Tech? Everybody is not, okay, good. Just wanted to double check that. Our other career coach, we brought on board about a month ago. This is Miss Emily Crowder. She is our second hired. She and I are sharing duties now. So I'm going to teach her everything that I know, and we're going to be tag teaming. And so some of you will be talking to one of us, both of us, whatever. We are both available. Anyway, we'll get there. In your Gmail, Ms. Perkins is going to go through, show you how to get into your McDowell Tech Gmail. If you type in either of our names, they will pop up. A lot of time, if I know she's already working with you, I just forward the email to her and vice versa. So either one of us, and we'll get you to where you need to be. We had some visitors, and hopefully they're going to come back to see us. The gentleman who just entered with us, Mr. Stacy Buff, do you mind introducing yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Stacy Buff. I'm the Dean of Career and Technical Education here at McDowell Tech. Glad to have you. We're glad to be here.
Thank you. So Mr. Buff is in charge of not the college transfer part, but he is largely in charge of making sure our welding and our machining, our EMT, those types of things are happening, those opportunities.
Vocational education and all of our human services, so all of your emergency management, cosmetology, aesthetics, early childhood, all of that sort of stuff. So.
Even the classes that are being held, like the EMT at the high school, second semester criminal justice, all of those, that's still him coordinating all of those opportunities. Yay. Mr. Michael Lavender is recording us this morning. Some students can't be here, or for those that didn't have to stay, he's recording us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I think you did just fine.
Okay. Miss Summer Perkins, that you will be hearing lots from in just a moment. And then Miss Joan Wilder.
Hi, how are you? This is learning also.
So those of you that are, well, all of you are going to be doing some component of your class. Your classes will be online. You'll be having some component distance learning. And so Miss Perkins and Miss Wilder might be your contacts for that as well. Miss Claudia Ward, who is our communications instructor, so that's public speaking and interpersonal communications. Sometimes we will offer storytelling, theater appreciation. Yeah, that's your gal. Let's see, Mr. Jay Perry is in the back as well. He is our advertising and graphic design guru, our advisor for that, our lead instructor for that program as well. Anything you'd like to share?
Just welcome. I'm glad to have all of you here. My son's in high school. He's actually taking CCP classes, so I fully support this program. I think we all do.
Great people to know. We're here to serve you, just a small handful of our team that's here to support you all.
Valerie.
Oh, sorry. Mrs. Dobson, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Valerie Dobson. I'm Department Chair for Health Sciences. So for all of you that are in a health science funded program, then I'm the Department Chair for that. But we're glad to have you. I was a CCP student many moons ago when it wasn't called CCP. So we're glad to have you and wish you the best on your educational
come on up here because I'm going to be shooting some video too. But for those of you who are going to be in public speaking, we decided it was going to be a whole lot more effective to do it online because of this. You know, it's very difficult to get the nuances of presentation. So we will be presenting, you will be presenting online. I will have virtual office hours, so I will be online. You can log in. You will have the internet. But I'll also send you, I have a work cell you can text so you can get in touch with me if you do have issues. And the whole idea with public speaking, where it's like, I hate public speaking. The goal is to think of it as a conversation where you're just trying to get your message across. And so we'll work through some of that. We will have a unit about how do you communicate with this on. So I look forward to seeing all of you online. And you'll see what I look like, which is really scary. The mask having sex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is safety, and so get it out of the way right at the forefront. I want to share with you our COVID policy, because this is the big stuff. And what I'm going to do, I'm literally going to read to you verbatim what came from our interim president. Face coverings will be required in all college buildings, including classrooms, labs, and public places. Face coverings will also be required in outdoor spaces on campus where appropriate social distancing cannot be maintained. This guideline is in accordance with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the NC Department of Health and Human Services to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Face coverings will be required for all faculty, staff, students, and visitors while on campus, inside and outside of buildings where appropriate physical distancing cannot be maintained. Okay, that's our college policy. So you will be required to be wearing your masks. Okay. Another note about safety. Please know, I want you to notice, this is a college campus, okay? This is an open campus. This is not like McDowell High School. We don't have a guard gate where you have to check in and check out, okay? Anybody can drive on this campus. We're located right next to an interstate that goes from coast to coast. We have a state highway. We have a prison right down the road. We've got industries, we've got railroad tracks, we've got major truck stop, okay? Never had major safety issues on our campus, but it can happen. It could very easily happen. Please, 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 make sure you are where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. Please, please do not put yourself in a situation where something can happen. Okay, we do have security folks that are here before students get on campus until the last student leaves. They're all retired law enforcement. You'll see them scouring around campus. If you ever get that, I call it the funny tummy feeling. Those of you that had me in kindergarten know what I'm talking about, that funny tummy feeling. We talked about that. Please find somebody, I'm the worst one. Find somebody that is wearing their badge. I'm the worst about wearing mine. And they'll put you in contact with somebody that can help you, okay? Just please be conscious of your surroundings and be conscientious of what you're doing when you're here on campus, okay? Let's hop into registration statements. Hopefully when you checked in, you were given, it's a white sheet that has the logo at the top. Some of you may not have had one if you haven't completed your paperwork yet. If we just did your paperwork within the last little bit and it's still being processed, okay, may not have your registration statement. So if you'll just kind of follow along with me, this is real important. This paper right here. Need you to really be closely double check this with me. Top left-hand corner, you see your name and address. Please carefully check, make sure all of that information is correct. Right above your name and address, right above your name, you'll see, I think it's a 7-digit that starts with 0. That is your McDowell Tech student ID number. That is who you are on our campus, okay? Your school lunch number does not work. Your McDowell County Schools means nothing outside of McDowell County Schools. All right? That is your number when you're here at McDowell Tech. That's a very, very important number. That's going to get you into your Gmail account. That's going to get you logging into your online classes. When you go get your student ID badge, that number is also going to be on the back of your badge. Okay? You'll be asked for that number when you email, if you need to email Ms. Perkins for something, whatever, you're going to be asked for that number. All right? And I don't have one to look at. Right below that, you see your list of your classes. Okay? The left-hand side, you see the course number, the course name. You see the dates, the classes meeting, the times, the location, the building, and the room number. I think that's about it. If it says for online classes, it may say, what is it? Internet, I think is what it says on your registration statement, internet. It may say the location TBA, to be announced, or 5:30 for the time. Those are straight internet classes. For the seated classes, you'll see the days, okay? All of our classes, our seated classes, are technically hybrid classes. Hybrid means a typical college class, seated class, you meet 2 days a week, okay? Say it's a Monday and Wednesday class. For hybrid, maybe you meet on Monday, but Wednesday, you're actually not meeting in person, you're working online instead, okay? That's the way the hybrid is going to work this semester. Kind of the standard general policy that we're using, the setup is, the instructors are going to look at their roster based on the enrollment. They're going to determine how that's going to look for their individual class. If it's an enrollment of 30, half of the class is going to come on that Monday, the other half is going to come on Wednesday, is your given day, to split for social distancing. If the instructor only has 12 students in the class, then you may come both days anyway. Social distancing is not an issue. That's going to be determined somewhat as it goes by your instructors. I've kind of been out of the loop for a couple weeks. I'm sure Ms. Perkins can better share when she speaks with you about better details. That's what I know at this point anyway. Please, please, please make sure you are checking your McDowell Tech Gmail accounts though. That is the only way that your McDowell Tech instructors communicate with you. They don't know your McDowell High School Gmail or your personal Gmails. That's how they're going to let you know. So if there's anything any different, that's how you're going to find out, okay? Please also make sure that you look at the start date of each individual class. I know some of the classes most of them are 16-week classes. Some of them, I think it's Calc 1, doesn't start until September. It's a 10-week class. So make sure you're also checking your start dates. Okay? Some of them may be at McDowell High School. Some of them may be at the Universal campus. This is the main campus. We also have classes at the Universal campus. So please carefully check that on your registration statement. Before you leave, check those very carefully. If you see, I don't think that's the class I'm supposed to be in. That's not the time I was supposed to be in that class. I was supposed to have been dropped from that class, whatever. If there is anything that's not jiving on your registration statement, before you leave, please put a note on there, and I've started to stack on this table over here. put a note, put it in that stack, and then Ms. Crowder or I will look at it, try to this afternoon, or tomorrow, and we'll get you squared away with that and email you back and let you know, okay? After classes start on Monday, if you are wanting to change anything on your schedule, you have to go through Ms. Crowder or I, okay? You cannot do, adult students do that directly with their instructor or with student services. High school students, you have to go through one of the two of us. We have to check with your high school folks first before we can drop you from a class, okay? Some of you may need it as a high school graduation requirement. That may be your 4th math to graduate high school, or your 28 required credits. That may be number 28, okay? So that communication, you can talk with your instructor. They cannot drop you from a class, though. That has to go through us so that we can clear that with the high school first and have them in on that conversation, okay? If you have questions about your McDowell High School schedule or about how your college class is going to work with your McDowell High School schedule, contact the high school. Okay, I know it's messy. I've been out the last couple weeks and I've not been in all of those conversations either. There's a lot of but this. Please make sure you contact the high school so that they can tell you exactly what's up with that. Okay, there's a lot that they know that I don't know on my side. So make sure you talk with them. Your dates to remember, I think you were given one of those when you registered. If not, you can get one when we're finished. It says at the top, fall dates to remember. That is McDowell Tech's fall schedule.
We should have one in their email too.
Oh, okay.
I emailed everybody one.
Did everybody hear that? Ms. Perkins also emailed one to you.
Check your McDowell Tech email. You should have an email in there with the fall dates to remember.
And you can look at our calendar on our webpage as well. Very important. That is McDowell Tech schedule. Your classes are following McDowell Tech schedule. They are not following McDowell. We do not follow the same schedule that the public schools follow. Okay, make sure you're watching that. There are days that they may be out for a work day. We're still having class. So you're expected, you are still coming out here for class. If they're having a work day and you're supposed to be riding a bus, buses do not run on teacher work days. So you're gonna have to find your own transportation. Same thing, we're out 2 days for fall break. McDowell County Schools is still in session. So we may be closed. You don't come to your classes here, but you would still be going to the high school for your classes. Okay? I try to email you, if you've not already signed up for my Remind, please do that. There's some sheets back here to sign up for the Remind. It's on your blue sheet as well. I try not to text bomb you with that, but those are the kind of things I try to make sure and let you know. Labor Day, that the campus is closed. Different things, especially weather-related things. Our weather policy is not the same as the public school system. Okay? We do not follow what they do. Don't know what their weather policy is going to look like this year. I don't know that they know. Haven't really got that far. Typically, if school was 2-hour delay, they would start at 10 o'clock. And you go to the high school, you go to first period a little bit, second period a little bit, third period, fourth period. It's not how the college works. If your class started at 8 o'clock and we're on a 2-hour delay, we're starting at 10 o'clock. If your class started at 9:30, you're going to that 9:30 class at 10 o'clock. Okay? Stuff's not shifted back 2 hours. If you have a class, if say it only goes till 10:15 and we're on a 2-hour delay, policy says technically you still have to come for only those 15 minutes. However, again, make sure that you are checking your Gmail for a message from your instructor about your specific class. We've got instructors that come from Henderson County and Lenore and Madison County, all over the place. It may be they don't want to make that drive for 15 minutes. Sometimes they can't. We had an instructor in Polk County one time, he couldn't get here. And he emailed all his students and said, Betsy, I just know they're not going to check that email though. Will you please go to the room? And sure enough, I went up there and had a bunch of kids that were upset because they got out of bed early and came to the class, hadn't checked their email. Okay, he could not physically get here to class. He had emailed them and said, don't come, and had sent them an assignment. So make sure that you're checking that. Cosmetology and nursing, those two in particular have hours you have to get in for the state boards. So those two in particular, even if it's only coming for half an hour, they're probably going to have you come. And they may even have you stay later or come another evening to make up times. Checking your Gmail for messages like that is hugely, hugely important because each one of them is going to look a little bit different. Okay? Lunches. We have here on our campus, we do have a cafe. It's in our commons area. It is not owned by the college. It's a private little business that you are more than welcome to. She takes cash, debit or credit card, cannot use your McDowell County Schools lunch number and use your account. That is a whole separate private business, okay? There is not, those of you doing machining, welding, classes over at Universal, there is not somewhere to eat over there. There's some vending machines, I think, in a very back classroom or something. That's all there is over there. So be aware of that when you come here. The cafe, you're welcome and good stuff, lots of fattening stuff. Tater tots are the best. Oh yeah, real grease, real crispy grease. But I will caution you, McDowell Early College is located here on this campus. So about 11:20, it gets pretty busy. Don't know what it's going to look like in COVID year, but typically about 11:20, very, very, very busy down there. To place your order, to wait for your food and all of that, it can't make you late for class. If you can get your food, you can take it to class. Don't spend like an hour eating it and getting stuck all over the place. But if you need to eat like the first 10 minutes or whatever, your instructors would much rather you do that than to be late for class. Same thing, say you're leaving the high school, you grab your food on the way and you bring it with you, bring it here. Go ahead and eat it here, okay?
Unless you're in a computer lab.
Oh, yeah. Got the computer person always to remind me. No food and drinks in the computer classes, computer labs, absolutely. Back in the day, McDowell High would let you, with their cafe, place an order in the morning. That you could use your lunch number, place an order, and then after like second period or whatever, swing by, grab it, and go. That way, especially if you had free or reduced lunch, you could do that with it. I don't have a clue what that's going to look like this year. So if you're wanting to choose that as your option, check with the cafe people at the high school, the cafeteria people, and see what that option is going to look like for you. Okay? Transportation. If you need busing from the high school here or here to the high school, Mr. Ledford at the high school, you need to email Mr. Ledford at the high school and let him know as soon as possible. Okay, we do those routes back and forth. You've got to check with him though, because those are set up specifically for, it's not just a They don't just continually make routes. It's set up this student, this day, this time. And if you don't let him know, it's not just a shuttle service. There won't be one if he doesn't know. Okay, so please make sure you email him like today and let him know that you're gonna need that service. Communication, again, McDowell Tech Gmail. Ms. Perkins is gonna show you how to even get that on your phone, how to do it, how to get it to pop up. That's gonna be huge. The remind from me, if you have questions about your grade or an assignment in class or I can't get into my whatever, I'm not your guy, okay? Your instructor, talk with your instructor. What's my grade in that class? I cannot get into your stuff. I don't know grades. I don't know if you've done, the only time I hear is if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then I get an early alert. If for some reason your attendance is not what it's supposed to be, your grades are falling, if there's something that's making you not successful in the class, you're not passing, you're not turning in your work, whatever, then I get an early alert and your counselor and I talk with you and we try and figure out what's going on that we can get you back to in good graces in that class. What's going on? How can we help get you back where you need to be? Okay? Talk with your instructor if you're having trouble. Okay, that's your first line. Talk with your instructor. Checking those emails back and forth all the time. Transcript. Understand, these are actual college classes. Okay? These are called, just like an old person like me would sign up, pay money to take a class. You are building a college transcript, okay? College classes. At the end of the semester, what happens is I send these grades over to the high school and they go into your power schools. So you do great, you take an English class, you do everything, just like you're supposed to, fabulously, you make an A. I send it over to the high school. It goes as an A on your high school transcript, an A towards your GPA, a graduation credit, all of that, okay? It's a great way to build your high school GPA. It's also, unfortunately, a great way to tank it. Attendance. If you get dropped from a class here, or if you make a bad grade, that's also going on your high school transcript. If you get dropped from a college class, that goes as an F on your high school transcript. You will not get a credit towards your high school graduation, and that goes as a 0 towards your GPA. And usually it's usually because of attendance. Okay, understand that's different. It's not makeup time. It's not Saturday school and all that. If you are not in class, or if you're not submitting your assignments, those count. And if it's 5 days you're allowed, even if you had a field trip and you were sick and you're still not in class, that still counts as an absence. Okay? Talk with your instructors though. Have that communication with them. If you let them know ahead of time, all the time you're doing exactly how and what, but then you find out about something, they're going to work with you. That communication is key. Make sure that you know your particular classes, each class's grading scale. Our official policy, college policy, is a 7-point scale. High school is 10. Our official at the college is a 7-point scale. A lot of the instructors have chosen to go to a 10-point scale. It's up to the instructor, and the courses vary. The very first day, you will get a syllabus from the instructor, tells you everything you need to know about the whole entire everything. Right there, you're going to see if it's on a 7 or 10-point scale. So you make a 92 in a class out here, yes, that's an A. Then it goes on your high school transcript though, and it's a B. Make sure that you know, because the cutoff is 93. you actually made a B in that class out here when it's converted. All right, so make sure, because we use letter grades. High school uses number grades. 92 is technically a B, and that's what the high school is going to put on your high school transcript. So make sure that you're aware of that. Cosmetology students, your uniforms are required. You have to wear those the first day. The all in black goth looking stuff, gotta have that the first day, be wearing that. Ms. Perkins is gonna talk to you about everything you need to know about your Gmail, about your OpenLMS, passwords, all that sort of fun stuff. Not a techie person at all. You do not want me to get into your computer stuff and do any of that. I can't help you with any of that. If you have trouble, you want to email her at the email address that she's going to give you or call her. Okay? Ms. Crowder and I do not know passwords. We don't know usernames. We can't access your OpenLMS. We can't do any of that. Okay? We're just going to hold you up, and if I try to answer, it's going to be wrong. I can give you an answer, but it's going to be a lie. Make sure your contact is directly with her so it doesn't hold you up, especially with submitting assignments and things. Again, before you leave, if you need any of the documents that I was talking about, the remind,
The schedule.
the dates to remember, the to-do list, the memo, the registration memo that tells you what to do after here. The next thing you're going to do is go to the business office, pay your fees, then go to the print shop. You're going to get your ID badge. Got to have your registration statement and got to have your receipt showing that you paid your fees. They're also going to give you a copy of the student handbook. Then you're going to go to the bookstore. You give them your registration statement. They're going to give you the stuff you need. Math class, you need this access code. You need this textbook, whatever. All of the fees that you should have to pay, everything you pay that needs to be paid is going to be in the business office. There's nothing you pay for in the bookstore, okay? But there's a list. If you did not get that blue sheet?
Yeah.
The blue, it says at the top, registration memo. If you did not get one of those, we do have extra copies in the back as well. There's also extra copies in the business office, if you need those. Does anybody have any questions, general questions of anything? I know that's a ton of information. Again, if you have specific, my address is wrong, specific things about you in particular, if you'll jot it on your registration sheet or send us an email, Ms. Crowder and I will get with you as soon as we can about your individual things. Otherwise, I am going to turn it over to Ms. Perkins to share with you from the technology end. This is a ton of information. This session is being recorded. So if you need to go back, and I know it's not been fun and games, but if you want to watch it again just for kicks, it is being recorded. The link will be on our webpage, the CCP webpage. If you know of students who are unable to come, please let them know that as well. We're having a session this evening, but if they're unable to come, tell them to watch for that link as well, and they can, this information can be shared with them that way. Okay, thank you, and welcome. We're glad to have you.
Can you guys hear me without a microphone, or do you want me to use a microphone? Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. I'm Summer Perkins. I am officially the coordinator of online learning and technology. I'm in charge of the distance ed department. Joan Weiler in the back was just recently hired back on to help support the students and the faculty with their online stuff with Gmail and with OpenLMS. So today I'm going to show you how to locate a few things. I'm going to go over the basics of OpenLMS and Gmail, but I'm also going to show you where some resources are for you if you need some more information. Okay? Can everybody see the screen? If you can't, we've got a few seats over here. You can move over or up in the front.
Do you want us to hit the lights or not?
Do we need to dim the lights? Can you guys see this?
Dim the lights.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Can't tell how much of a glare there is back there. How's that? Is that good? Okay. So on the McDowell Tech webpage, I'm going to show you a few things real quick. If you go over here under current students, you're going to see distance learning at the top. Anytime you need some information about distance learning, you can go here to find some things. I've got just a little welcome message, but you'll see over here on the right-hand side some different resources for you. Okay? The OpenLMS online orientation is information that I'm going to go over in here with you today. This packet is on that page, so if you lose this and you need it, you can go here to get another copy. It's right there on the side, distance learning orientation packet. Some things that I'm going to go over today, like Zoom and Collaborate. I've got some tours here that you guys can watch. Talks about logging in. So all the stuff we're going over today is here somewhere. So I encourage you to check this out, okay? Up in the top right-hand corner, you're going to notice a group of icons. Okay? We've got an email icon, looks like the letter M. And then the one next to it that looks like an infinity symbol, that's OpenLMS. So this is a good, quick way for you guys to get to those locations. Okay? So let's talk about Gmail first. Because you can't get into OpenLMS unless you've gotten into your Gmail. So your login for your Gmail, if you haven't checked it already, is your first initial, middle initial, last name, and the last 2 digits of your student ID number. So that student ID number that's on your registration sheet above your name, those last 2 digits on there are part of your ID. Okay? I encourage you to go to the print shop, get your ID card made for McDowell Tech, because they're also going to put that student ID number on the back of it.
But you
Okay.
got to remember to bring your registration sheet, because
Yes.
that's what we get it off of.
Bring your registration sheet and they'll print that out for you. Okay? You're going to have that. Now, that student ID number that you have, the first time that you log into Gmail, that's going to be your password. Okay? So your student ID number is 7 digits long. In order for it to be a password, it's got to be 8 digits. So what we do is we add an extra 0 to the beginning. Okay? So most of them already start with a 0 already. Put an extra 1 at the beginning. Okay? That's going to be your password for Gmail that first time. Now when you log in the first time, it'll ask you to pick a new password. Okay? If you ever call and need help or email and need help, chances are pretty good I'm going to ask you for that student ID number. If we ever have to reset your password, we're going to reset it back to that student ID number. Okay, so I encourage you not to lose that number. If you do, give me a call and I'll get it for you. Okay? So to go to your Gmail, like I said, you can just click that little envelope icon in the top right-hand corner. And it's going to take you to the login page eventually. Now, you'll notice if you get to it from that location, it's automatically going to put @go.mcdowelltech.edu at the end. Okay? So your email address is your first initial, middle initial, last name, last 2 digits of your student ID number @go.mcdowelltech.edu. Okay? If you forget that, that information is in here in this packet. Okay? There is a page called Gmail, and it goes over that information. Okay? At the bottom of the page are the directions to add your email to your phone, depending on if you have an iPhone or an Android. Okay? I encourage you to add it to your phone so that you're not having to go log in all the time and check it. It's already there. That is the only way that your instructors are going to communicate with you. All the time, teachers get emails from students. I get emails from students, and you're using your McDowell High School email. When you do that, we have no idea who you are. Okay? I don't recognize the email, and then you might sign off as Scott or Jennifer. Well, Jennifer who? Scott who? Like, we can't recognize you with that information. So I encourage you, when you reach out to us, use your McDowell Tech Gmail account. Okay? I'm not really going to go over a whole lot of specifics on Gmail. You guys use it for the high school already. I'm assuming you know how to use it. You know how to use Google Docs and that kind of thing. Are there questions about email? Okay. Like I said, make sure that you have logged in. to your email because your login information for OpenLMS is going to go to your Gmail account. Okay? You should have already, if you've registered for classes, you should have already gotten that email. If you did not, for whatever reason, I'm going to show you how to reset that. But if you're missing your login information, go check your Gmail. Okay? So, to get to OpenLMS, like I said, the icon's up here in the top right-hand corner. Just click on that little infinity symbol. And it's going to take you to the login page. Okay? Hopefully you have your login information. If you do not, you'll notice a link down here where it says forgot your username or password. You can go there and click that link. And in the username box right here at the top, you're going to type in your username. Your username for OpenLMS is the same as Gmail. First initial, middle initial, last name, last 2 digits of your student ID number. Okay? If you put that in there and you hit search, it will email you a new link to log in and reset your password. Okay? If you ever forget your OpenLMS password, use this. I cannot look up passwords for OpenLMS. I cannot reset passwords for OpenLMS. That's on you guys. Okay? Questions about that? I'm gonna go back. And I just want to show you some stuff down here at the bottom. Okay? If you scroll down to the bottom of the pages in OpenLMS, you'll see this footer. We've got some help and support. So through OpenLMS, we have 24/7 support. I always encourage you to email or call me, but if for whatever reason you want to do this, that's always available to you. You can call a toll-free number, you can submit a ticket, or you can do the live chat when it's available. Okay? They can't help you with how to do things in your classes, but they probably can help you get logged in and that kind of thing. Okay? Over here in the middle, you'll see links for students. Just a quick way for you to get to the distance ed page, the one that I just showed you. Gmail, library, web advisor, that kind of thing. We've got links down here for social media, to McDowell Tech social media pages, but you can check this out. Okay? So I'm going to log in with my little student account so you guys can see what it looks like. Alright, so when you log in, this is what you're going to see, okay? This is your dashboard. It'll probably bring you up and do a little short tour where you just click through the screens. I encourage you to go through that. So up here at the top, you should see your name. You've got some different options. I encourage you to go into your profile and upload a profile picture, okay? If you're in only online classes, your instructors never get to see you face to face, that's how they're going to know what you look like, okay? I teach online. It's very helpful to know my students and their face, and they're not just a name on there. So I encourage you to go in and load your profile picture. And to do that, you just click on profile and edit your profile over here on the left. Okay. And then you're just going to scroll down and you're going to load a picture over here. And then just say update profile. Questions about that? Okay, so let's go back to courses. If you ever want to get back to your courses page where it lists all those courses listed, up here on the top right, you can just click on My Courses. And it's going to take you back. Let's talk about this screen for a minute. So any courses that you're enrolled in are going to show right here. If you've already logged in and looked at this, chances are pretty good you should see this class, OpenLMS Student Orientation. Every single student should be enrolled in this course already. Okay? A lot of the information that I'm going over today is in this course. I encourage you to check this course out and complete this course. You can do it on your own time. If you complete it and do everything in the course, you will earn a digital badge that will be displayed on your profile. Okay? It will tell you how to submit an assignment, how to take a quiz, things like that. Your actual courses that you're enrolled in for McDowell Tech will not show up for you until the first day of class. Okay, so for most classes, that's Monday morning. So by 8 o'clock, Monday morning, you should see your classes when you log in. Now, if your class doesn't start for a few weeks or until September, those classes will not show until that day. Okay? So if you're registered for a class and you log in Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and you don't see it, then you can reach out to Mr. Ruiz, your class assistant, reach out to me, reach out to your instructor, and we'll see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay? A lot of times you get added to a class and nobody tells me, so I don't know to put you in it. Okay? So just let us know if something is missing. Questions about that? Over here on the right-hand side is just a little quick link thing for you. If you're enrolled in courses and you've got some deadlines coming up for assignments, you're going to see that over here on the side. When you scroll down a little bit, you might have feedback from your instructors. If you have any messages from your instructors or other students, they'll be here, forum posts, etc. Okay? To actually get into your courses, though, you're going to click on these individual course tiles. Okay, so this is 2 separate courses. A couple things I want to point out. Okay, you've got stars in the corner. If you have, for whatever reason, a course that maybe is more important, or you've got a lot of deadlines versus other courses, you can hit that star and it will move the course to the top. Okay. You'll notice a progress bar down here at the bottom. As you progress through the course, depending on how the instructors have the activity completion set, when you turn things in or when you complete tests, it will check it off. Okay? And it'll move that green bar across. So you can kind of see your progress in the course. In theory, by midterm, midway in the semester, your green bar should be across, halfway. Okay? So just kind of keep an eye on that one. So I'm going to go into this course so you can see what it looks like. When you come into your course, of course the name is going to be at the top. You're going to come into the course information page, at least at the very beginning of the semester. You're going to see a welcome message from your instructors and some other information. So let's talk about this side over here. On the left-hand side is your menu. Okay? You might see course information, week 1, week 2, 3, 4. You might see chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, module 1, 2, 3, 4. It depends on how the instructor has it set up. Okay? But to get to those different sections, you would just click on those names. If we look down through the course information section, there's a few things I want to point out to you. Okay? Your instructor should load the syllabus in the course, so you'll have that first day when you get logged in. I encourage you to pull it up, save it on your computer, print it out if you need to. A lot of them will have an assignment guide at the very end, and it will lay out due dates for everything in the course for the whole term. I encourage you to print that off if you're like me, a little bit type A, OCD. I like to check things off as I do them. Okay, so do that. The most important thing initially when you come into these courses is to do this enrollment quiz that you're going to find on that first page. Okay? This enrollment quiz is 2 questions long. It won't take you much time at all. But if you don't do this enrollment quiz, you may be dropped from the course. Okay? This is what lets us know that you're there. And you must do it by a certain date. Okay? For most courses, it's like August the 26th, you've got about a week to get it done. But if you don't do it, you may be dropped from the course. Also, if you don't do this, you do not have access to week 1 and week 2 in your course. Okay? So once you complete this, you get access to the things that you need to do in week 1, but you can't get access to them until you complete this. Okay? So to take a quiz, because this is just a quiz or a test, all you have to do is click on the name of it. So I'm going to show you that. So you'll click on the name. It's going to give you the directions for the quiz, and then you're just going to click on Attempt Quiz Now. Okay? You'll notice this one says Attempts Allowed 1. Depending on how the quiz is set up by your instructor, you may have multiple attempts. You may have a time limit. You may have, certain things that you have to do. You may have to put in a password even. So just make sure that you pay attention there. If you've got a time limit on it, I encourage you not to start it until you know that you're going to have time to finish. Okay? No distractions. You don't have to be at work in 30 minutes, that kind of thing. So make sure and pay attention to those. But you would just click on Attempt Quiz Now. And you'll see here the first question. I have read the course syllabus. Hopefully you have read it. You would click True, and then hit Next Page. And I am the person registered for this course. I am who I say I am. No cheating, right? True. Finish attempt. Okay. You have a chance to review your answers, possibly. When you're ready, you need to click Submit All and Finish. Okay? It says here, once you submit, you will no longer be able to change your answers. So I submitted it, and I can see my grade, if it's one that's automatically graded, okay? All tests are gonna be like that. Click on the name of it and start the test. Questions about that? Make sure you do this enrollment quiz first thing when you go into the course. Pull up that syllabus, read it, do the enrollment quiz. Okay? One thing another that I want to point out, you'll see a string up here at the top. This is called the breadcrumb trail. Okay? Anytime you want to go back in your course, you can hit the back button, but you really just need to click on the breadcrumb trail up here to get back where you want to go. So I'm going to click back on that course information section, and you can see it took me back. Down here at the bottom, we've got links to Gmail. If you want to get to your Gmail from your course, you can click that. The McDowell Student Resource Manual. And then down here at the bottom is going to be an announcements forum. So ideally, your teachers are going to be making announcements to you, ideally at least weekly. Okay? So I encourage you to come here, check the announcements forum. They may also be emailing you those announcements as well. So you can come here and check them. You can go check them in your McDowell Tech Gmail. Okay? It may be, week 1 instructions, make sure you do this, or, we've got a test due in a couple days, make sure you've completed it, that kind of thing. So make sure and check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and look at week 1 so you guys can see what some different things look like. I'm going to point out the colors first of all. You'll notice assignments have a blue bar at the top. Okay? Forums or discussion boards have a green bar, and any tests or quizzes have an orange bar. So just a good visual for you when you go into a course for those assignments that week, you know kind of what's coming up. Okay? So I gotta go in, I need to do an assignment. I've got a paper or whatever that my instructor wants me to do. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the name of it because I need to get my instructions. Okay? So, say your English teacher wants you to write a paper on so-and-so and it's gotta be 3 to 5 pages long, whatever. All of your instructions are gonna be listed right here. Okay? Make sure you read over that. You're gonna go into Google Docs, or you're gonna go Microsoft Word or wherever, and you're gonna type up your document. While we're on that topic, if you use Google Docs, that's great, it's wonderful, I love it, I encourage it. But most of our instructors will only accept things that are saved as a Microsoft Word file. Okay? So when you're working in Google Docs, make sure to save your document as a Microsoft Word file. To do that, if you don't know, and the instructions are in that packet, okay? If you're working in Google Docs, you're going to go to File, then Download As, and then just choose Microsoft Word, okay? Before you upload it into OpenLMS. Okay? They may tell you differently, but the majority of our instructors want Microsoft Office files, okay? So you've typed up your paper, you've got it all done, you're ready to turn it in, then you're going to click over here on the right on Add Submission. So you'll click on that, and it's going to take you to a screen where you can add your document. Now you can go and you can click and drag it into this box, or you can click on this little file right here to go and locate it on your computer, your hard drive, wherever you saved it. Okay? So I'm going to see, hopefully there's something on this computer I can add. So you'll click, let me show you that again, guys. Above the box over here is a little piece of paper, over here on the left. If you'll click on that, you're going to get a pop-up box where you can go and locate that file. So you're going to click on Choose File. And then you're just going to go locate something, hopefully. Something, nothing, I have nothing. Okay, what else? Scratch that, guys. So you would go locate your document, and then you would click on Upload this file, okay, for it to attach it. And then you would make sure and say Save Changes. Okay, always save your changes. And then it's going to take you through a couple steps, like it did with the quiz. Are you sure you're ready to submit? You may not be able to make any changes, that kind of thing. For some teachers, you may have to do more than one file. Just make sure you read your instructions so you know what they expect of you. Okay? Questions about how to do an assignment? Again, everything that I'm going over is in this packet. Let's go back to week 1. Alright, so now you've got a discussion forum post that you've got to do. For many instructors, every week you have to do a discussion board post and then either reply to one or two other people. And make sure you read over on the syllabus, they'll let you know. There may be a rubric that you have to follow, you may have to have so many words, so many sentences, that kind of thing, so make sure you read your instructions. But to do your discussion board, you're just gonna click on the name. Okay? So, maybe you've gotta talk about, they've given you a question and you've gotta answer it, 3 to 5 sentences. So when you're ready to do your post, you would just click on add a new discussion. Give it a title, test, type up your reply, whatever, and then hit submit. Now, if there are other people here, you can reply to them as well. Like you would click on the name, and then you would click on reply. And then you would type your reply down here. Okay. Always, always, always make sure you save your changes, because if not, it's not going to keep it. Make sure you do this by the due date. For a lot, you're going to have to post by like maybe Wednesday of the week, and then you have a couple other days to do your replies until some more people have put theirs on there. Does that make sense? Questions about this? You're not going to have to do it in every course, but a lot of instructors, this is maybe their attendance assignment. This is the way they keep track of people that are logging into the course. While we're talking about attendance, like she said, you can be dropped from your course for not going and logging into your courses and doing what you're supposed to. Check your attendance policy depending on how long the course is, maybe depending on how many absences you can have. But general policy is you must log in and work on something twice a week to be counted for attendance purposes. Okay? Now, like I said, that can vary depending on the course and whether it's a hybrid or completely online, that kind of thing. But a completely online class, you must log in and work on something. I don't mean you log in and you read, the announcements or something like that. That doesn't count. Okay? Your teachers can log in, they can tell how much time you've spent in the course, they can tell what you've looked at in the course, that kind of thing. So you might log in and do a discussion board post on Wednesday, and then you may log in on Sunday and do a reply. Or you might turn in an assignment, and you might do a quiz, that kind of thing. So make sure twice a week. Questions about that? Okay. So we've got a quiz here. I've kind of showed you already how to do those with that enrollment quiz. Pay attention over here. You're going to see the due dates for your quizzes. Okay. If there's due dates on the assignments, those will show as well. It'll also tell you whether or not you've attempted it yet. Okay. So that's a good visual for you to know if it's done. That green status bar that I was telling you guys about as far as completion tracking, you'll notice in the corners of a lot of these are little check boxes. Okay. When you turn in an assignment, depending on how the instructor has set it up, if you turn it in, it may check it off. When you take a quiz, it may check it off. It may also be something that you have to check manually, so just be on the lookout for these, okay? If it doesn't necessarily check it off ahead of time, see if you can check it. Not a mandatory thing for the courses, but it is a good visual to kind of see your progress in the course. Now, the two things down here that you'll see, got a couple different options. This year, because of the whole COVID thing, has changed how we're delivering a lot of content in the courses. If you have a completely online class or maybe even a hybrid class, your instructors are going to be offering virtual office hours, okay? They may be doing that through Zoom, or they may be doing that through Collaborate. That's their choice how they do it. But I encourage you to be on the lookout for these things in your courses. So we've got Zoom, and then this little icon here would be for Collaborate, okay? If they hold virtual office hours, like maybe on Tuesdays from 9 to 10 or whatever, if you've got a question or you need some support from your instructor, you can go during that time and they will meet with you virtually, okay? They may also be providing lectures virtually. So that's another option, but be on the lookout for these in your courses. For Zoom, a lot of people have used Zoom, so I'm not going to go over that a whole lot, but you would just click on the link for the Zoom session, right? And then you could join the meeting. Okay. If the details for the session are not provided on the first page, then you'll see here the start time, how long it lasts, that kind of thing. Okay? So then you would just join the meeting. If it's a virtual office hour thing and maybe you don't want to forget about it, you can add it to your calendar. Okay? That way it'll, you can set up reminders and that kind of thing. Questions about that? For Collaborate, let's look at that one real quick. different in that it kind of has one section that branches out a little bit. So you can see here it's just lectures, right? Click here to access the lecture. So I would click on that link. And then it branches out into particular sessions, okay? So you can see I've got lecture 2 is here, which is in progress. That means I can get to it right now. Or lecture 3 is down here, but it's not going to be open until this time, so it's not available yet. But if I wanted to participate in that collaborate session, I'm just going to click on the name, and then I'm going to click on join session, okay? If you'd like to dial in, maybe you don't have really good internet at your house, but you still want to speak, you could just use the dial in option. Okay. Questions about that? No? All right, let's go back. So remember, do that enrollment quiz so you have access to week 1, week 2, chapter 1, whatever that is, okay? If you, for whatever reason, go into your course and you're trying to get into week 1 and you can't get to it, think back, oh, did I do that enrollment quiz? Okay, because it'll tell you haven't completed the enrollment quiz yet, you can't get to it. I want to look at the resources section over here on this side. So as a student at Galtech, you have many resources available to you to help you be successful. There's a link right here for OpenLMS Help for Students. So there's a whole website developed just to give you some resources to succeed in OpenLMS. It'll, like this packet, how to do an assignment, how to take a test, how to take a quiz. There's like screenshots, step-by-step, all kinds of stuff on there. So if you need help, that is one way that you can get help, okay? This GCF Learn Free is over here. It's another help link for, like, how do I do something in Microsoft Office, or, helping to learn computer skills, or subject matter material. All that stuff is there as well, okay? If you scroll down, you're going to see a lot of resources available to you through the library, okay? So our McDowell library is being renovated right now. It's going to be awesome, by the way. So to get to their webpage, you can click that. But I want to show you NC Live. I don't know if you guys have used this much through the high school, but you can click on that. It's going to take you to the NC Live website. So through NC Live, you have all kinds of things available to you. Maybe your instructor is having you write a paper, and you need some good scholarly articles that you can reference in your paper. Nobody uses Wikipedia. We all know that's not a good thing. You can go to NC Live, and you can search, or you can go straight to articles over here, and it's going to give you good scholarly information that's research-based that you can use in your papers, okay? There's all kinds of ebooks, videos, test prep. Maybe you're going into nursing or whatever, and you want to practice some of those skills, you can do the test prep. We've got language learning, career development, so some career resources here. All of this stuff is free to you as a McDowell Tech student as long as you go through NC Live, okay? If you get to it through OpenLMS, you don't need a password, you don't need a login, it'll automatically go for you. You can see McDowell Tech Community College logged in, okay? If you try to go to it on your own, like, you just open up a browser, you type in NC Live, it's gonna ask you for a password. And that does change periodically, it's getting ready to change here in a couple months. If you ever need that though, you can call the library, it's on their recorded message, okay? Questions? I encourage you guys to use this, it's a great resource. We actually had a meeting yesterday during professional development and found out just some even more stuff that they offer, so it's pretty cool. Back on that resource page, I'm not going to click on these, but I want you guys to see them. Gale Access, this is a big database collection, so more articles for you, facts on file, Internet Issue Researcher, Anatomy TV, if you're in any of the allied health programs, this might be a great resource for you. There's all kinds of charts, diagrams, that kind of stuff. And then we've got a digital library down here also for the allied health programs. Okay. As a heads up, something hopefully within the next month that we're going to be adding is tutor.com. So I'll be in the process of adding it to each one of the courses for this fall. But 24/7 tutoring support. So because our library is closed, the ARC lab's in a different location, with the whole social distancing thing going on, you may not be comfortable coming on campus, and actually sitting down with somebody and getting some tutoring help. You can use that tutor.com to get some help from a live person, like I said, 24/7. Live person, you can go in there, they will give you support in your classes. You'll go in, you'll search for it by English 111 or, math, whatever it is that you're taking. They'll pull it up and they'll meet with you If you don't want to meet right then, you can schedule a session. You can even, if you're writing a paper and you wanted to get some feedback on like maybe your grammar and, you know, works cited, that kind of thing, you can submit your paper for review. They'll check that for you. Now they're not going to, you know, they're not going to tell you your content is good or bad, but they'll let you know, you've formatted it correctly and that kind of thing. Okay? So be on the lookout for that in about the next month. All right, next section up here. I'm almost done, y'all. The course dashboard. And this is going to be an area you're going to want to know about. If you go on the course dashboard, again, you're going to notice your progress and your grade in the course. Okay? You're going to be able to click on the participants and see who's in the course with you. Okay? You can even click on their name and you can message them or email them. Okay? Hopefully they've uploaded a profile picture so you can see them. Let's go back to that course dashboard again. You've got your grade book here, and I'll show you that in just a second. Down here at the bottom, you're going to see a McDowell Tech calendar. Okay? Anything in green is a McDowell Tech global event. Okay? Anything in red is going to be something that is specific for your course. You can also click on things and you can add them to your calendar yourself. So if you like to keep up with stuff like that in a digital version, you can use the calendar feature within OpenLMS. Okay? Down here at the bottom, you're going to see the email feature. Okay? So if you want to email your teacher, you don't have to go all the way out to Gmail to do that. You can do it from in here. You'll just click on Compose New Email. It will send an email to them to their McDowell Tech Gmail account. Now, it's not going to reply back to you in OpenLMS. You need to make sure to go back to Gmail to look for the reply, but you can send emails this way. Okay? Now, let's go to the grades. So you're going to click on Gradebook, and it's going to list out the assignments for the course that are already there, and it's going to show you your grade for those, if there's a grade available. So you can see like the enrollment quiz we just took, I made 1 point on it and 100%. So you can always check that. Instructors are usually pretty good about grading things, depending on how big the class is and how many classes they're teaching. You know, give them a few days or a week, and if you haven't heard anything, just reach out to them and say, hey, just wondering about my grade on such and such. Okay. Questions about using OpenLMS? Not yet. I know when you leave here, this is a lot of information and you're going to forget. That's okay. I promise it happens to everybody. Make sure you've got this packet. If you go through here and look at it, everything that I went over is in here. You know, how to do an assignment, how to do a quiz, how to do a forum post. Badges are in here, the calendar. There is an app for OpenLMS. It's very limited though right now. They're developing it a little bit more. But right now it's pretty limited, but you can get in there and kind of check some things out if you'd like. One thing I really like about OpenLMS is it's so easy to do on your phone. You don't need the app. Just open up your browser, go to the website, which is like on this first page, okay, bookmark it, or you can get to it from the McDowell Tech website. But you literally can do pretty much anything that you need to do in your course on your cell phone, your iPad, tablet, whatever. Okay, very user friendly. Again, the Gmail instructions are in here. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about how to succeed as an online student before you go. It's a lot different if you're not used to taking online classes. Okay, time management is very, very important. Don't wait till the last minute to do your stuff. You know, if you live in an area like I do, I'm out in Montford Cove, I have terrible satellite internet. It doesn't work a lot of the time, okay? Halfway through the month, it's like dial-up, and a lot of you don't even know what that is, but it's so slow. If it rains, I don't have internet. So don't wait until the last minute, because you may have technical problems. You've got to get a test done or turn in a paper. Well, your internet's down, you can't do it. Don't wait till the last minute, okay? Schedule your stuff out, get a planner if you have to, use your Google Calendar, whatever. Mr. Ruiz talked about, you know, being in communication with your instructors. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do in your courses, you're getting things turned in on time. If something comes up and you're going to miss a deadline, reach out to your instructor and let them know. If you get sick and you're not going to miss, you know, be able to log in for 2 weeks, let them know. If you're going on a cruise and you're not going to be able to log in, let them know. Okay? As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in the course, they're usually more than willing to work with you. Okay? But you have to communicate. Don't ghost them. Okay? If they email you, email them back. Again, make sure that you're logging in, doing that enrollment quiz, log in twice a week. When you email your instructor, again, do not email them from your high school Gmail. They don't know who you are, okay? When you email them, I encourage you to, first and last name, the course that you're in, because, a lot of our instructors teach like 8, 9, 10, 11 courses, okay? So that's a lot of students, especially if you've got 30 in a class. So let them know what class you're in, be very specific. I encourage you, if your phone number changes or anything changes, let them know, okay? As an adjunct instructor, there's many times I try to call my students to check in on them or whatever, and the information that we have on file is not correct. Okay, so make sure and let them know about stuff like that. Let's see, make sure I went over everything with you. A lot of you, like I said, do use your Google Drive for, typing papers and stuff, that's fine. As a McDowell Tech student with your McDowell Tech Gmail, you do have access to Microsoft Office online version, okay? So the instructions are in here on how to get to that if you want to get that for free. It's not one that you can download to your computer, but it is the online version for free, so you can type documents in Word or spreadsheets, that kind of thing. Okay. Library information is on here. Make sure I went over everything with you guys. I think that's it. Are there any questions? Okay. My name, my phone number, my email is on the front of this document. Okay? It's also on the distance learning webpage. If you have questions about anything technical, email me or call me. Okay? You guys got this. It's going to be a great semester. Bye.